Become a critical thinker. What exactly was my first experience and what I learned at Holy Cross College from subjects, teachers, classmates, and friends? On my first day here at Holy Cross College, from the gate to the room I was assigned to enter, the fear did not disappear, even the apprehension. Fear of starting a new stage to walk, fear of failing in the journey to follow the dream, because it is imprinted in mind that this is my first day at Holy Cross College is also my first day in college, because college is not a joke to everyone, because it is what everyone wants, so I want to make it memorable. I will stay here. All of this is my first. It is also imprinted in my mind that my first venture into college life will be smooth, and I hope the day comes the right here in this school I can graduate. Here, hopefully in this school, I will receive a diploma that will be awarded from graduates. I want my college life to be successful here at Holy Cross College. From my classmate who at first I thought I wouldn't be able to get along because I'm just a quiet and passive person. So I thought I wouldn't have friends that now serves as my weapon to keep going no matter what hardship I experience. Because I am not the only one walking the path of success with my friends as well. Continuing my experience and what I learned from the subjects and the teachers. Apart from the majors, one of the most subject I will never forget is religion, religious experience, and spirituality. Even the teacher here in this subject. The first day I met the teacher here, the fear and nervousness that I had come out more and more. I can't explain what I felt that day. But one of the things I learned that day was that we are taught that it is not necessary to memorize something as a college. We should be open-minded to things which we want convey here what is called critical thinking. My first experience with this subject was that we were asked to write an essay about ourselves, what we expected from this subject, and we were given the freedom to say what our views are on our religions, even giving an opinion on the negative and positive effects on our religion, which here open our mind to say what we want to say about our religion without any criticism. We are given the opportunity to share what we see and believe about our religion without judgment or negative comments. Again, in this part, I learned a lot about different kinds of lesson about religion and people's beliefs. From the first person who turned away from service to people who believed that only they would be saved. The Jews, one in the words that I will never forget, our teacher said that they believe that they are the only ones who will be saved. I learned a lot in this subject. In the first output that we made that right here state what expectation we have in this subject. It is have known and imprinted on my mind. Everything was taught from the beginning. One of the things I will never forget here is providing a fair way to have an equal opinion on our religions, that each of us belong to. Also, in my life as a college student, I also experienced giving up on some subject, but I couldn't do it because I believe God has a plan for me. I always pray that I will not discourage, especially when there are heavy trials. For a few months teaching us about the religion, beliefs, experiences, and so on. This was a big part of our education because they were not only taught but imprinted in our minds, and our knowledge become more open regarding the different beliefs of people. There is what I learned that people believe in the doctrine and in one God. There are people who believes in what they follow as they call Allah is one God. There are also those peoples believes in many gods. In addition to this, I also learned the negative and positive effects of religion that once experienced being free to say what I want. If there is a negative and positive effects of my religion that I belong to which here we were given the opportunity to our thoughts can be said. I also learned that the Jewish women are to blame for everything even if it is the man mistakes because the woman is always to blame. And even the choice of their spouse is not themselves the shopping but the older person who chooses their get married. What I learned have about the positive effects of religion, in that it provides moral values, where the affiliated religion teach what is the right and wrong. I also provide social change, which include the so-called Old Testament and New Testament, which contain words and events that the talk took place. And there are many more, including the negative effects of religion. I also learned such as cause discriminant, triggers, conflicts, and fights, as well as obstacle and obstruct the use of reason. I have learned a lot in a few months about religion, which is also one of things I will never forget when my teacher said that what is needed to study in college is to be comprehensive, understanding, and critical thinking that can be applied to different facts. Lessons. It is not necessary to memorize each word. All you need to do is understand the content of. I can't deny that when I first saw my teacher in religion. Why? Because I think of him as a strict teacher that I was afraid of at first because I'm not used to that kind of engaging teacher. But every day that I know there will be a class there in an inexhaustible nervousness that is stir my chest and mind. I also experienced that from the beginning to the end of the class was shaking. But as time went on, I became interested in what he was saying, and the fear disappeared a little when I saw him. Another one of my unforgettable experience that happened to me when someone asked him to do this was my first priority because I was struggling in the situation that is was about religion. And when religion was talked about at first, there was a growing fear that we were not welcome here. But not only religion is studied and taught. but also the experience of each religion, as well as the belief that even though each person believes are different, it does not allow confusions and conflict between each student. It also did not make us feel that the religion we belong to is different. Even though we were only a few Iglesia Ni Cristo members in that class, we never failed to say and convey our attitude regarding our religion and our beliefs. At first, the thing I expected to learn could not be learned because that was just my opinion. But in every class that took place, I saw the value of persons' expectation in the things they still want to know. I also know I also now have things that I want to know. Also now have things that I want to know. There are questions in my mind that also become of this subject. Those questions are answered not even in the detail, but there are some parts that we have experienced who are still confused about what we want to know. In the many persecution I experienced from the other people about the religion I belong to, in this subject and you, sir, I felt that we belong and are welcome as Iglesia ni Cristo. Here I experience hearing good words about Church of Christ. At first, I was afraid that we would be viewed differently. But one of the words that I will never forget that we used say about the church, good opinions and comments. That when I realized to be happy, because even though we have different religion that we believe in, I never heard anything negative. Your thoughts about Iglesia ni Cristo. So I am grateful for all the lesson you taught us. I will never forget the memories you left us, sir. I am Eliza P. Trinidad from 1 Bised M.A. Eliza Trinidad, a girl with high dream but full of fear and apprehension that all promises will fail to fulfill her longed for goals in life. I am a person who keeps fighting even when others despise me. I am also known as a quiet person but with a hidden side. But she's so also kind. I'm also shy, but when I talk and feel reassured, the, the mischievousness and charm that I possess comes out. I am a person who is weak in decision, that I do everything to make everything go well. I am also one of those people who now miss the care of a mother. Because of my mother passing, I learned to stand on my own 2 feet. Of all the responsibilities that she does to us, I experience it on a daily basis. It is also difficult for me to understand deep words and lessons, but despite my persistence in studying, I am able to understand. I am constantly stricken by every test. I always considering that I am not alone because there is a God who always guides us. I also spend my time serving. In fact, I have a role within the Iglesia ni Cristo, and I share some of time with the trainer for things I want to do, such as designing or DIY, practicing calligraphy, even though I'm not active in everything. I'll do what I want without forgetting the limits and what I should do. I can talk to other people unless they are the priest to talk me. I'm also not a wanderer. The only thing I always go to is from school and home and sometimes to church. I believe God has a plan for those like me who are afraid to step onto the road of success. I'll spend my life studying, helping my family, and serving the great Creator. Eliza is one of those people who don't like to socialize but sometimes give thoughts, opinions, and beliefs without stepping on other people's feet. I am quiet but also able to make other people happy, able to advise even without experience in advising. Mischievousness sometimes, and love not just obvious, constantly fighting the challenge of life, even if sometimes losing hope but never giving up. That's Eliza that I see in myself but not others see because they think differently from what I dream of. Right now, I'm not the student who excel, but I'm the student who can improve what she doing.